like to see it maybe get less recoil or maybe have more RPM, but I don't know. Okay. Hello gamers, a while ago I made a video on the forgotten conversions of Phantom Forces, and today I wanted to make another video very similar, but with different guns. So this is kind of a volume 2, a continuation of that. Make sure to like and sub, but yeah, let's get into it. Our first conversion is something known as 9x19 on the AK-74U. No, AKS-74U. This is a very interesting conversion that gives you a better 3-hit kill range than the default ammo, as well as better min damage but worse velocity and worse pen and a little bit worse damage overall. This conversion is very good because not only does it give you a better 3-hit kill range, it also basically gives you no recoil. This guy's definitely hacking, and it's actually extremely accurate as well. It even gives you 150 reserve ammo, and the low recoil is just... it is really good. It doesn't shoot any faster, which would be kind of nice. It still has about 735 RPM or something, which is not bad at all, but it's just not amazing. Kind of feels a bit like the Tommy gun, but with the lower recoil that the Tommy gun just kind of, it doesn't really have quite as good recoil. It's pretty nice, and 30 rounds by default is also really nice, and 150 reserve is nice. It's not a bad conversion at all. I find this to be a very good one, and I don't hear anybody really talking about it. The main thing that people talk about on the AK-74U is 7.62x39, which is pretty popular and probably better than 9x19, but 9x19 is pretty good. I recommend you check it out. The next one is K7-556, which was actually added pretty recently. I have not seen this a single time. I don't even think I saw it in the test place when it first came out. Like, nobody was even trying this out. This conversion is frankly just not that great. It has pretty recoil, not gonna lie, and it's basically just a slightly slower shooting K1A with worse recoil and about the same damage. There's pretty much no reason to ever use this conversion. It was essentially added instead of an integral suppressor on the K1A because they just couldn't add it for some reason, so they were like, you know what, we'll just add a K7 attachment to make it an integral suppressor on the K1A, and it's bad. The recoil sucks, it just doesn't even shoot as fast, and the damage is just not good. It's just not a good conversion at all, and with the RPM being so much lower than default, you may as well use the 1100 RPM default ammo because it has not only lower recoil, it shoots way faster and has the same hits to kill. Yes, it doesn't do quite as well at range, but with the recoil of the 5.56 conversion, good luck using it at range ever. Just use the K7, it's pretty good by default. So this is a forgotten conversion for a very good reason. I don't think you should use this, it's not good, but it is worth mentioning because I don't see anybody talking about it. Next thing is something that actually got a pretty nice buff. It is 338 Norma conversion, which I still have not seen in game. Essentially what this does is gives you a worse torso kill range and a worse limb kill range on the TRG, and this does work on the but gives you better velocity and penetration and better limb damage at range. It's a pretty interesting conversion. I wouldn't say it's anything super special or anything, but it's actually not too bad anymore. I don't see a ton of reasons to use it. The main reason that you use the TRG is for the torso and limb kill range, so this isn't super great or anything, but it, you know, it has its purpose, it has its use, and it's not too bad. It used to make your reload time faster, which I still wish it did that. That wasn't a super great reason to use it because it was basically the only reason to use it. It just made your damage worse and you like reload faster, but it would be cool if it could keep that upside. It doesn't have that anymore, but it would be cool extra upside for it. Not a bad conversion, just not an amazing conversion or anything. The next one is actually the Henry 3030 conversion, which is pretty decent. I don't really recommend it too much. Basically what it gives you is 6 rounds, a little bit extra RPM, but worse damage. It gives you a ton of reserve ammo on the Henry, which is very nice if you want extra reserve. Not that it matters. This could actually be pretty decent for something like zombies or something if you could hit your shots with it, but let's be real, 70 reserve ammo on a sniper rifle is not really necessary by default. In fact, that's probably going to be fine for some automatic guns, but it's nice to have it, and it's a pretty decent conversion overall if you want the extra round and also the extra RPM. I'm just getting blown up, dude. You could also say Henry Big Boy is not remembered, but people know what it is, they just don't use it because it's not very good. The next conversion up is a conversion on the MP5/10, which has been a little bit more talked about after I made a video about it, but I don't really see a lot of people talking about it either. It's the MP5/40. It's 40 Smith & Wesson on the MP510, and it gives you very low recoil, better headshot damage. That's about it. It isn't really amazing, but it's actually pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Essentially, you just get lower recoil and you do 4-hit kill instead of 3-hit kill to the body, but you have the opportunity to 2-hit kill to the head, and the worst velocity is a little bit annoying. It kind of is a problem for me at least, but the recoil is extremely low, so if you want to be able to 2-hit kill head and have extremely low recoil at a fast rate of fire, the MP5/40 might be for you. I kind of just recommend the default ammo over it, to be honest, because default ammo recoil is not bad at all. But if you don't like the default ammo recoil, then just use this because it just doesn't have any recoil. And yeah, it doesn't do as great damage, but it's great for close range. It's really good for longer ranges, especially because of the recoil. But yeah, the next ammo type is Slugs on the RPK. People don't really talk about this ammo type mostly because it really isn't good now. It does 60 times 1.2, so it can't torso kill and it can't limb kill. I guess it can one-shot headshot, but it has 350 RPM and a 15-round magazine, and it literally has like spread as well as having pretty high recoil. So what's the point of this? It has high penetration, as you can tell, but it's gonna be like a 2-tap. Just use the TCR, and the TCR 1-taps like probably farther, does more damage at range, and is a substantially more usable and fun gun to use. This is just not good. The reason that this hasn't really gotten any changes is probably just because people kind of forgot it existed and nobody really cares. The other ammo type, buckshot on the RPK, actually got a pretty substantial buff, and it's very good, but Slugs is just not good. Don't use Slugs. Use the default gun. Yeah, it doesn't have hollow point to 2-hit kill limb anymore, but it's still gonna be very good. This is just not going to do the damage to be very, very good. It's pretty usable, but it's just not good. The next ammo type is 375 Shade Tag on the Intervention, which I'm not a huge fan of this ammo type, but I think it's actually worth checking out. Essentially, what it does is it gives you extra RPM, as well as better velocity and better aiming speed, and as you can see, you shoot quite a bit faster than you usually do on the Intervention, and you still have a 90 stud torso kill range. It's nowhere near as good as the 150 of the default gun, but if you just can't handle the default handling and the default RPM of the gun, the Intervention can be substantially better with this while still having sort of what it has by default, which is the high velocity and stuff like that. This is a very good conversion. It's definitely not going to be amazing top tier or anything. I still feel like the default ammo is a little bit better in my opinion. Next conversion up is VSS Ventura's 7.62x39 mm, which essentially just makes the gun kind of suck. It's not the worst conversion in the entire game or anything, but honestly, maybe it is. It just doesn't really have any specific purpose. It has a 20-round magazine, and it's locked in semi-automatic, and it has less RPM than the default gun. It just doesn't do great damage, and the recoil is still really not amazing. It's decent for close range especially, but honestly, it just doesn't do as great damage as it would by default. Usually 2-taps body and almost 1-taps head, and it just doesn't do that now. It just doesn't do a lot of damage. It's fine, I guess, but they're definitely just better 20-round DMRs. I'd say even the SKS is just kind of better. Just spam the SKS and it will be way better than this conversion. Another pretty interesting conversion that's very forgotten is the 6.5mm conversion on the Scar SSR, which will lower your damage by quite a bit and slightly lower your RPM, but give you a better headshot kill range. This is not really that great because of the existence of something called the SVU, which has the headshot kill range, the 2-hit kill limb all ranges, and this just doesn't do quite as well as that. It's an interesting idea. However, the SVU just kind of does it better. I heard that they're actually going to remove the SVU long barrel, which might make this a little bit better, but I'm going to be real. I still wouldn't use it. Just use the default gun. The default gun is going to be a pretty easy 2-tap to the body at any range, have higher RPM and just do more damage, and still have a pretty decent headshot kill range, like 170 studs instead of like this is, I don't know, maybe 200, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Either way, if you're not hitting your headshots, this isn't that great, and you're not always going to hit your headshots, so why bother using this conversion? The damage loss is just quite a bit. It's not an awful conversion. I like where it's headed, but maybe it could get a buff. I would like to see it maybe get less recoil or maybe have more RPM, but I don't know. Okay. The thing is, the default ammo would do that at a faster RPM and just do more damage. We have a carbine ammo type, which is the AK-12C, which has 9x39mm. The AK-12C has always been kind of an underrated gun overall. However, lately people have been using it a little bit more, and 9x39 is definitely the ammo type to use on it because it gives it a better reload time, basically the same recoil, higher damage, a torso multi, better ranges, better velocity. Just use this conversion. It is very good. It's pretty much the only reason I recommend the AK-12C. I don't think I would really recommend it as much if it didn't have this conversion, because 38 damage with the torso multi is really good, and the reload time is very fast. I haven't been using it a ton, but it's definitely one of my more favorite automatic guns in the game right now because it's just really nice. It's not bad. Final conversion that is forgotten, but maybe for a good reason, is 12mm rockets on the Gyro Jet carbine. The thing about the Gyro Jet is that it torso kills at longer ranges, right? 12mm rockets not only just completely removes that, it also makes the gun just do no damage. It does like 20 to 30 damage or something stupid, where if you're hitting limbs, it's completely unusable versus just kind of annoying to use. And the upside is really just you get a little bit of pen and a little bit more velocity. It's a decent amount more velocity, but it's not enough to warrant this gun just becoming a complete pea shooter. Old mill rockets is just not good. I don't really see it anywhere. If you're hitting headshots, it's still a one tap, but it's just not good. I would like to see it maybe get a torso kill, but like after a farther range than default or something, and maybe not have as less damage. For final conversion, we have two, which is both of the AK-12BR ammo types. I haven't seen these, which is very strange because originally they were very hyped up, and now they're just not. I don't know why exactly. Maybe it was the fact that the AK-12BR, ever since its original hyperburst nerf, hasn't really been as popular, but you would think two new conversions would make the gun somewhat more popular, but I haven't seen any of these conversions. I've seen the AK-12BR maybe once, twice. However, I haven't seen the conversion, which is very strange because you'd think that people would want to be using the conversion, and this one's not too bad. The 12.7mm one is pretty decent considering the fact that the SVU auto conversion was completely removed, which is a very dumb thing. Well, it wasn't completely removed, but I guess we'll talk about that maybe in a different video. Anyways, this is a pretty decent ammo type. Same with this one. They're pretty decent, but that's going to do it for the video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and sub. Comment a forgotten conversion down in the comments because chances are I probably forgot quite a few of them, but I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.